Hey everybody, it is Trey here with another great edition of Reactions to the Classics. I'm joined today by longtime friend and Coldplay fan Seth, and we are going over Coldplay's second album, A Rush of Blood to the Head. And if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I want to thank you for that. And here at Reactions to the Classics, we look back at some of the most classic albums of all time, review them in a track-by-track format. A lot of the times, it is the first time we've listened to the record. I've only heard a couple songs off this, Seth. I know you're pretty familiar with it. And so if that sounds like something interesting to you, why don't you go ahead, click that big red subscribe button, and we appreciate that. And as always, we have the song playing in the background, but we can't play the full studio version, so that is why you're only going to hear little snippets. Now, Seth, I know you've been a long-time fan. What is it about Coldplay that you like?
Yeah, Trey, I've been listening to Coldplay for a long time, probably since elementary or middle school. So they're just a great band that I've always kind of grown up listening to, and I've always kind of liked them. But no, I love the versatility that they bring to music. I think they just really fit both ends of the spectrum. They're very relaxing, but then they also have pump up music. So I think they're very versatile. For me personally, it was I could listen to them while I was working out or while I was working on homework. Just consistently putting out good music. Something as simple as their first couple albums to now you have Coldplay being a feature with the Chainsmokers and Avicii. And
Yeah.
I just think their versatility is kind of underappreciated.
I guess we'll jump in, as always, guys, into some quick facts. So this thing came out August of 2002. These guys recorded and were ready to go in June 2002, but they weren't really digging the sound and what they had. Clocks wasn't even going to be on there, and so they reworked some stuff and pumped out something that was more versatile, which probably made for a much better record. And Seth, you want to tell us kind of how critically acclaimed this thing is?
Yeah, the Rolling Stone ranked this the number 466 on the 500 greatest albums of all time, and it also ranked 21st on Rolling Stone's list of top 100 albums of the 2000s.
Yeah, and this thing also has won 3 Grammys, including for Record of the Year for Clocks, which is quite the song. So there's your quick facts, and we're just going to start this thing off with Politic, the opening track. This thing was written shortly after 9/11, and it kind of has a little, I don't know, ominous kind of tone to it.
Definitely.
You just get in, it gets blaring, and this was one of my favorites on the record. And I just thought the way it talked about, like, open your eyes, kind of see the world, and let's, help each other out. So what were your thoughts?
I don't have anything negative to say about this song at all. I thought it was a great opening to the album. It kind of was a different feel than Parachutes had, which was their first album, and I liked the kind of the tone it set for the rest of the album, and I was excited to hear the rest of the songs after this one. The next song, In My Place, I thought it was another great song by Coldplay here, and I thought that this was kind of what makes him vintage Coldplay. Loved the vocal range throughout, and really just had that chill, kind of relaxing vibe that made me enjoy Coldplay growing up. And,
it was more kind of happy than the first song was, even if the lyrics were more kind of like dreary in a sense.
Yeah, this song was an absolute jam, and added it to a playlist.
I really dug this one too. Lyrics kind of spoke to me about how it's really is tough to change and waiting for people to change, and that's where kind of the character in the song is at. He's kind of waiting for this girl, but she knows at the back of her head that he's not going to change. So overall, really solid track. After that, we get into God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, and this was one of the more thought-provoking songs on the record.
I like how it differentiated between loud and quiet, and it kind of
that's a good point.
Played that balance very well. I thought it was a very simple song, but like any other Coldplay song, I don't think I could knock it at all. The next song on this album is The Scientist. Man, I'll tell you what, this song is an absolute classic. I've had this song on one of my playlists for 8 or 9 years now, and honestly, it never gets old. I think this song just really hits home. It's very relaxing. It's another chill vibe, and honestly, if you had a long drive, I would suggest putting this song on repeat for 1, 2, maybe even 3 hours. It's that special in my heart. I look forward to hearing it every time it comes on the radio.
No, I'm going to echo your thoughts, Seth. This was my favorite track on the entire record, and just kind of it kept with the thematic theme of love throughout the album. He's kind of analyzing his relationship like a scientist would. But at the end of the day, you can't analyze love like that. It's just something you feel. So that's kind of what I felt throughout this, and the pain vocals from Martin kind of reflected that to me. And I just really dug this one, and like you said, I added it to the playlist, man. Can't not. After that, we get into Clocks, which is one of the songs that really put him onto the map, I think, worldwide. Man, this thing was one of my favorites. The signature famous piano to start off, and just I liked the theme of kind of talking about time and are you wasting it, are you seizing the day, and he has some good questions in here. Am I part of the cure, the disease? And I love towards the end of the song where he's like, ooh, nothing else compares, you know. I thought this was one of the better vocal performances on the record too. What about you, Seth?
You know what? I'll tell you what, Trey. This song is an absolute classic. This is kind of what got me into Coldplay growing up. This was definitely the first song that I'd heard of theirs on the radio. I can just remember driving to school, elementary school, middle school. Any given point, this song will be on the radio.
Yeah, on read.
So that'll be just an absolutely great video. The next song on the album was Daylight, and it's tough to follow up Clocks with just a song that's even better than that. And I really think this song struggled to follow that up. I thought the song was a little bit repetitive. Didn't quite do it for me. So this one's not quite up there on my Coldplay scale.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with you on that. This was probably my least favorite on the record. Not a fan of Martin's vocals here, and like you said, this thing was around 5 minutes or so. I just think shaved off like a minute of that, it would have made for a better song, but they can't all be hits. After that, we get into the love ballad Green Eyes. All in all, I thought this was another great vocal performance from Martin, and a good subject matter about having somebody who's kind of your anchor. This guy's kind of floating on the outside, but he has his anchor in his woman with green eyes. So overall, good bounce back from Daylight.
I thought this was a simple, classic love song, and it's one that I had not really listened to a whole lot. So it was nice to kind of hear it a few times through, and it really started to grow on me. But I just love how simple it was, and I just thought it was a solid song to kind of propel it through the rest of the album. Next song on the album is Warning Sign, and while this song was decent, it did show the musical range of Chris Martin and Coldplay, which I was appreciative of, and I enjoyed getting to see the kind of country rock inspired song. Wasn't a huge fan, but at the same time, I was thoroughly impressed with their ability to kind of branch off and make something new.
Yeah, the guitars were a little bit different, especially in this latter half of the album. It's more acoustically based, so this was a good differentiation from what we have in the next few songs. But overall, I like this. I thought the song built up well to Martin saying, "The truth is I miss you." Essentially, the song's about how this guy was looking for warning signs in the relationship, and now he regrets that the relationship's over. So, good story there, and overall, pretty good track in my book. Next up, we go into the track A Whisper, and this kind of had some more upbeat, kind of like urgency-laden guitars in the background, and you had that contrast with Martin's lyrics, A Whisper, where he's almost whispering that line. All in all, I thought it was a pretty solid track.
Absolutely, Trey. I'll have to tell you, the song made me want to run through a brick wall.
Ready to...
Yeah, I felt like Coldplay really got out of their comfort zone on this one, and kind of branched out a little bit. And I love just the upbeat, high energy song we got here, and I thought it was a great touch to the album. The next song was A Rush of Blood to the Head, which was the title track. That was the name of the album here. So I was really looking forward to this song, but I'll be honest, Trey, it didn't really do it for me. It was an alright song, decent beat, but it wasn't one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that, Seth. I thought it was lacking something. I thought it went a little long, as I thought a lot of the B-side here did. A lot of songs on the B-side were over 5 minutes long, which is good in some circumstances, but some of the songs started to blend together for me, and it was kind of tough to differentiate towards the end. But this one wasn't one of my favorites. Really details out revenge, though, keeping with that love theme. And then our closing track, Amsterdam, was written in Amsterdam, hence the name. And here the character is really going through a rough time, but he eventually finds somebody to kind of give him some hope. And it was another piano-led track, kind of kept with the mellow theme throughout the album. And this was a really solid song, I think, to close out a pretty good record.
Yeah, absolutely, Trey. I really liked just how the first 3 minutes or so was just kind of a build-up to the last minute and a half. I thought it was kind of triumphant, and it was ended on a very positive note.
You're right, and they were really good throughout this record of building stuff up. So I think that's a great point.
No, absolutely. I really enjoyed, honestly, the last minute and a half of this song. Just got a great vibe, and I thought it definitely kept with the piano theme that made Clocks so great.
Yeah.
So, but they also did, it wasn't exactly Clocks, they did something slightly different with it. So I thought it was a great touch to kind of finish this great album on a solid note.
All right, that'll take us right into our favorite tracks. For me, The Scientist had to be up there. Obviously, Clocks. I really dug the opener as well, just because it was so different in Politic. And then a kind of underrated one, Green Eyes. I think that doesn't get a lot of talk, but I dug that love ballad.
My favorite tracks, kind of similar to you, would be Clocks and the Scientist and Amsterdam. Kind of those three, they're based on the piano, and I hate to be cliche with it, but I think that there's a reason that Clocks gets played so much, maybe even overplayed.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely the top track on this album. It's my personal favorite, and even if that's kind of the popular choice here, I think that's definitely the right choice in my mind.
No, it's that acclaim for a reason, you know? And that'll take us right into the overall score. So for me, I'm going to put this thing at a solid 8.0 out of 10. That's an album I think that is great, and an album that I'd like to own. Personally, I'd be spinning the A-side more than the B-side, but I think that A-side was so strong it made up for any shortcomings that were on the latter half of the album. So what about you, Seth?
I would have to rate this an 8.5 out of 10, just because I love Coldplay, and I've been listening to them for a long time. Well, I don't think that this is their best album. I do think they did a really good job, and it's got some timeless classics on there that you just can't ignore when you talk about Coldplay.
I guess that is going to wrap it up from here today, guys. Really appreciate you stopping by, Seth. Appreciate you joining the channel, and we'll have more videos from Seth in the future as well. And please comment below what your favorite track was from this great record, and what you want to see reviewed next from Coldplay possibly. And be sure to hit that big red subscribe button. We upload twice a week in a variety of genres, so there will be something there for everybody. And until next time, happy listening, my friends, and we will see you.